Well, hey there, it's Haley again. Haley's Camper Rentals. I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit today about what is the worst that can happen. I always say that. Heck, what's the worst that can happen? Well, in the camper rental world, there's lots of crappy stuff that can happen, honestly. And, you know, a lot of people think super worst case scenario. You know, they're gonna total my camper. They're gonna, have a big raging party and the whole thing is gonna be destroyed and, beer everywhere, pot smoking everywhere, whatever. Well, most of the people that rent campers, they put down a pretty hefty deposit. My deposit is a little bit on the light side. I only charge between $300 and $500 for my deposit. Some people charge up to $1,000, $1,500 for nicer units, but honestly, I've never had anything scary, terrible, awful, unacceptable really happen in my campers. I mean, you're gonna get stuff like a clogged toilet. You're gonna get stuff like torn upholstery from, just wear and tear over time. That's gonna happen. If you're getting into this thinking that your brand new camper is gonna go on without a scratch, without a hitch, without a bump, about, anything like that, then this might not be the right business for you, because it's a rental. And I don't mean that as crassly as I'm saying it. People are gonna do the best they can, but when they're dragging in a suitcase, they might knock into the daggone cabinet. It's gonna happen. So you have to take that into consideration. And if that's something you're willing to do, get yourself some markers that can cover up the little scratches and dents. Get yourself a staple gun where you can replace the upholstery. It's so easy. You just dedicate a couple hours every month or every other month or something to just kind of doctor it up, and it's fine. It's not as crazy as people say. I'm on a bunch of Facebook groups and they say, oh, well, I would never rent my camper. People just don't take care of it like I do. Well, guess what? The most damage that has ever been done to my campers, I did. Honestly, I'm not a real careful person. I've backed them into things. I've scratched the floors. I've dented the sides with ladders, climbing on the roof. Just stupid crap like that. It's gonna happen. It's a moving little tiny house. And, on that note, you have to understand that after you drop the camper off, or after somebody takes it, your job's probably not over. I mean, out of 3 of them that I have, there's always something. Either they have questions that you have to know the immediate answer to, or if you dropped it off, you have to have the ability to get there and fix it in a timely manner if something goes wrong. My most recent horror story for that was I dropped a trailer off. Luckily, it was pretty close to my house. And the renter calls. He's very upset. He was very dramatic, I'm going to say. Not everybody's awesome. So every once in a while, you get a renter that's kind of a jerk. And this guy was a jerk. But he did have a legitimate problem. He says, the toilet's leaking. I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll be there in 15 minutes. And he gets there and he says, oh, well, I'm very upset. I don't know what to do about this toilet. I don't want you to think that I did it. I'm like, no worries. I don't think you sabotaged the toilet or anything. And the toilet had literally come separated from the base. They were 2 different parts. And we're like, what the heck, I don't know. But either way, there's a problem. There's a solution. You got to, meet the 2 together. So we run to the camping store and we bought a new toilet, went and installed it, and that was that. Problem was repaired. And usually, if you have some basic knowledge of the systems in an RV, or even similar to the systems in a house, there's basic plumbing, there's basic electrical, different stuff like that. It's all kind of the same thing. You can figure out what you need to do and get it done. So there's always going to be situations where you can't freak out. You just have to figure out what the solution is, try to make the customer understand that you're doing the best you can to correct the problem, and just get it done. So when it rains, it pours. It seems like once there's one problem, there's 2 or 3 more that weekend. But then again, there's some weekends where I could be laying in the sun in the Bahamas and no one would have noticed. It would have been awesome. But you know, you just never know. Everything is unpredictable, and it's a moving little tiny house that's, you know, bopping down the road. So there's really no telling what's going to happen or can happen or will happen. So all you can really do is be positive, hope for the best, and, you know, realize that at the end of the day, you're creating somebody's vacation, which is a really, really special thing. And you're going to get to go visit a lot of really cool places that you wouldn't be able to see otherwise, you know. Like right now, I'm on the way to it's a monster truck event at a mud bogging place. And I would never get to do that kind of stuff. I mean, it's 2 hours from my house, and it's just, I don't have any friends that do that. I'm not in the monster truck, you know, circle. So that's pretty freaking cool that I'm gonna get to go do that and see that stuff, whatever, and make, I don't know, I think I made $600 this weekend off the long, I call it the long distance delivery because it's about 2 hours, and then they rented it for Thursday through Sunday, so that's about $400. So yeah, it's gonna be good. So I hope that gives you a little bit of idea on, you know, what the worst could happen was. I think I could probably do a little bit more detailed video if I needed to, but all for now. Thanks, guys.